Hey guys, welcome back to Tiny House Customs. I'm Dan. In this two-part video series, I'll be framing my lofted kitchen and bathroom floor. The one difference between this loft and the lower living room loft is this has exposed joists with exposed beadboarding underneath it. So let's get started. Peanut, what did you do?
Oh man, I'm sorry, but I got tangled. It's a serious problem, dude. It affects 9 out of 10 dogs. It's called tangled up syndrome. We get tangled up and then we whine and bark and shit like that.
Let's get untangled.
No, I can't do it. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. My brain is not capable of thinking out of the box.
Go that way. Come here. Oh no, you're still not untangled.
Oh, dude, f you.
Go this way.
All right, sweet dog, motherfucker.
So I'm lofting my kitchen and bathroom instead of doing it the other way where the bedroom is above the kitchen. And my joists on the underside of it are going to be exposed, as well as some tongue and groove like beadboarding on the bottom of it, and then I'll plywood and do a hardwood flooring on top of that. So I've already determined the height of the bottom of the joists, which is going to be right here. I nailed a 2x4s, two 2x4s with a piece of 1/2 inch underneath it, and that's going to give me 3'3" to the bottom of the joist, and then it's going to be a 4-inch 4x4. I'll have a 1/4 inch beadboard, 3/4 plywood, and 3/4 hardwood flooring. I've got all these blocks cut and ready to get nailed in, and I just want to make sure there's no debris underneath them, and these nails are set in all the way so that the block will sit tight and I can get some good nails in there. So I nailed all the blocks in. I'm going to need to cut some studs for right here and for over there as well. I'm just going to mark the top of the 2 end blocks that I have nailed in, and I'll snap a line. So on this end I'm going to do 2 4x4s bolted together so that when this wall comes up into it, I'll have exposed beams on both sides of it. So I need to put a post inside of here, and then I'm just going to do 1 2x4 on the outside of here. And these posts are going to get notched so they straddle this, and then I'll put some lags in between here to connect it all together. So now I just have to do the other side just like this, and then I can do the joists. So I ordered my joists and I just had them dropped off the other day. I'm going to pre-finish all of them because they're going to be a darker color than the beadboarding that's going to get installed on top of it. I'm going to be applying a English chestnut stain mixed with 1/3 stain, 1/3 mineral spirit, and 1/3 boiled linseed oil. That was an epic fail right off the bat. So once I got that all in there, I'm going to mix this up. I typically apply my finish with a rag, but I got a lot to do and this is really going to soak up the stain, so I'm going to use a spray gun. I've never done it before, so we'll see how that goes. I think I picked this spray gun up at Harbor Freight for like 30 or 40 bucks. It's probably not good for the environment. After I apply one coat, I just go back and smooth it out so I don't have any streaks or runs in the stain. I'm going to let those dry, and I'll apply a second coat to them. Also got to do the other 9, 8, 7 of them. Put one coat of stain on all 9 of my joists. I realized last night that they were 10 feet long. I'm going to cut them down to the 8'2½", which is what I need roughly. I'm going to have to recut some of them, but they'll be easier to work with. So I'm just going to sight it and figure out how I can best use the piece because I have an extra 2 feet. Sometimes when you get stuff from a sawmill, it might taper off on the end from the milling process. So I'll just square down on 3 sides. I also noticed that they're really rough and a lot of debris falls off of them when I'm working with them. So I'm just going to take a 60 grit sandpaper and just real quickly go over it to knock off any of the loose stuff and some of the burrs on the ends of the board. I'm not going to smooth the board by any means. I'm just going to remove some of the crap that's on them. I'm just going to do that 7 more times. Exciting, I know, it's like edge of your seat excitement right there. It's fucking hot. Golly, I can't wait for fall. So I mixed up a gallon of the stain I'm using. My first coat that I did on all 9 of these joists, I used an entire thing of this. So what I did is I bought a gallon of this stain. I poured it into here, filled this with boiled linseed oil, poured it in, filled it with mineral spirit, poured it in, and just shake it up. And that way I can just quickly stain these versus mixing a bunch of batches over and over again. Is it peanut?
It's the fucking beaver. It's the fucking beaver again.
Oh, my compressor's not on. So I have this rag and it's completely soaked in the finish that I'm applying. And I'm gonna just use that to make sure I have a nice even coat. Stuff is soaking it up. Those are beautiful. That's it. That's perfect. Typically I would have done 1/4 of those products as well as 1/4 of polyurethane, but these were not kiln dried, and so they're going to shrink a little bit, and if I were to add some poly to it, it's going to affect it. So once these are installed and the beadboard's installed, I'll just go down there and I'll put a boiled linseed oil, mineral spirit, polyurethane mix on it, and I'll probably do 2 coats once it's installed. But otherwise, you can kind of tell what it'll look like once they're poly. They're going to look just like that. And they are beautiful. Golly. Payne, you're not going to get it.
My leash breaks, I'll get it.
What do you want?
The beaver?
It's a groundhog.
No, 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 no. It is a fucking beaver. That's why you're fucking single, because you don't know what beaver is. Homo.
Peanut, that is mean, offensive.
Fuck you. Listen, I'm going to get it. And when I do get it, it's over.
So all my joists are going to sit on top of these blocks. This one that's against the wall, there's nowhere for me to notch it in. I could put it in here, but there's really no point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lag it to this wall. And a lag is just a bolt. I'm going to put a washer on the ends. I think these are 5/16 bolts, and they're 6 inches long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill an 1.25 inch hole right here, about 1 inch deep, and then I'll drill a 1/4 inch hole pretty far in. And then after this is mounted in, I'm going to take this 1.25 inch dowel and I'll cut little plugs and I'll fill that hole in. I'll stain over it. You'll see it, but it'll look almost like a peg versus a bolt. Now I'm going to go back with a 1/4 inch bit and I'm going to go all the way through. I'm going to use a combination of an impact wrench and a hand wrench, I guess you would call that. I don't know. Now I ordered 9 of these. I only needed 8. Typically when you order rough stuff like this, you're going to have a lot of twists and kinks in the board. So I'm going to really try to find the best ones. This one had some writing on it, so I found a way to hide the writing, so the writing's going to be up top. And it also had a taper off on the end, so I kind of hid that against the wall. It won't be that noticeable. Also, some of these have double crowns, so it might be crowned to the right and also crowned up. Some of these have almost a 3/8 of an inch crown in them, and that'll really affect my beadboarding. It'll affect a lot of stuff up above. And since there's not that much weight going on this, I'm going to turn them on the side and I'll put that slider crown up. So f***ing hot, I can't think so. Now this needs to go down about 1/4 inch. I don't think I'll be able to get the full 1/4 out of it, but I'm gonna try to get it down. So I'm gonna nail a block here. I snapped a line on the bottom as a reference mark. I got it. That was a nice little trick. Just take notes. How I determined this height was figured off of my shower. My shower is going to go in this corner, and it comes out, I believe, like 30-something inches, 34 maybe, and it's 73 inches tall. So it's going to come to right about here. Since I want to hide the piping underneath the shower, I'm going to have to elevate the shower a little bit. So my shower should theoretically hit right on the corner up top there, and it'll be perfectly fit in here. I could have trimmed the shower and made it fit, but I don't think it's going to look as nice. So I cut some plugs. I'm going to put some glue in there. When you're putting these in, you want to look at the grain. Try to match it up with the area. This is oak. This is pine. So it's going to be sticking out a little bit, but try to blend it in a little bit. I'm going to try to make a nice cut with a Sawzall. This yellow blade is going to transfer onto this. If it starts doing it real bad, I'll stop and I'll use a handsaw. You can, because I didn't get the grain good, but that looks good. That one came out kind of nice. You can barely see it, so it's beautiful. I cut these about a 1/4 inch short, so I wouldn't have a hard time putting them in. Oh my God! Wow. Slightly claustrophobic down here. I'd really, really like to go a little higher. That's why they call it a tiny house. It's tiny. This is something I can't change later, so up here it feels a little too high. Down there it feels a little too low. So I guess it's perfect where it's at. I still got a good 1.5 feet above my head. I know on the camera it looks like I'm hitting my head, but my hands are all the way up, just touching it. So my last 2 joists are going to get sistered up together. I'm going to bolt them together, but I need to notch out a chunk right here so that it can fit around this this jack stud right here. And so I've already done my figuring. I'm going to have a wall right here and then 2 layers of trim. So I figured out how far the end of this piece is going to go and where my first notch will start. So from the ends of the lofted beam, from the end of this, I'm going to come over 3 inches and I'll start a notch. So I'll put my pencil at 3 inches on my speed square and I'll mark that. I'll come in 3.5. Since there's going to be trim that goes around this, if I overcut it, it'll be okay. Now from that mark right here, I'm going to go 3 1/16. Give myself just a little room. So I set my depth to 2 inches. I'm going to make this first cut, and then I'll make a cut coming in this way, and I'll finish it with a Sawzall. Yeah, make a mess. Oh gosh, there's more to come, don't worry. Now I should have a notch that's 3.5 inches deep, kinda, and 3 inches wide, kinda. Good have been tagging. Now I gotta do the other end. Alright guys, thanks for watching. The link for part 2 will be in the description below once it's uploaded. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can follow my build. If you liked the video and felt it was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you leave your comments down below, letting me know what you thought. And there was one more thing. Yes, if you want to show me some love, right up there, you see that little eye? Click on that eye. Oh, if you're on a computer, you got to be on a computer. Click on that eye, and then look it opened up this little bar right there. You see that bar? Cool. And then down right here, maybe, right about here, it says Support Tiny House Customs. If you click on that, it's going to pause the video. And then you can do that if you want to. I mean, I would be appreciative of it. Peanut would be.
Yeah, dude, give me some monies.
But thanks for watching, guys.